Hi friends, I'm here with you today because I wanted to introduce these stereo headphones from Kinivo. This is their BTH220 model, and these are fabulous because not only are they comfortable to wear, they're going to stay on especially if I'm being active and moving, if I'm running, if I'm jogging. As you can see, I can be a bobblehead and they're not going to go anywhere. I can bobble my head up and down, I can bobble it to the side. It's not going to go anywhere. And I love this too because I can use these for gardening and they're absolutely comfortable. I've gotten to the point now I absolutely love to listen to both. If I'm not engaged in listening to like music or a podcast, then I'm listening to audiobooks. I have a lot of time where either I'm gardening or I'm cleaning around the house, doing errands, and I just don't like dead silence. I'm not one of those people that sits well with dead silence. So I like to always just be constantly, listening to something. And for years, I've, obviously I'm in my mid 40s, so I grew up with headphones. I even, experienced the time period where you had to have the best of the best headphones for that high quality surround sound. We paid a fortune for those. Then we went on with the trend. We bought into earpieces and earphones, right? Earpods. And those were revolutionary, I would say, especially because they were new for the time. But the problem with those was I was constantly losing them. Always constantly losing them, little itty bitty earpieces. Who wouldn't, right? They're going through the wash. My children too. We've bought probably at least, and I mean, we could do the math here, but we have 7 children, and then there's my husband and I, so that's 9 people in our family, and they're all but one, all teenagers and young adults. So we have probably purchased, I would say, 50 plus different kinds of earphones, earpieces, earpods. And again, I think every single one of them have either lost one of their pairs, right? One of the pairs, or we've just lost them altogether. They're so small and tiny. Not to mention, they also, over time, at least for my ears, began to just cause kind of like a ear ache or irritation, skin irritation there in the lobe of my ear. So I didn't love that. And so I do love that I can go back to this alternative and you can see just how well these stay on. That said, also with earpods and with the small earpieces, I also always found it difficult to wear those and then also have situational awareness. So oftentimes I'm wearing those if I'm gardening or if I'm like working out or if I'm cleaning the house, and usually there'd be other people, family members nearby, and sometimes they try to approach me to have a conversation, and almost always I had to stop, pull it out in order to be able to hear and understand what they wanted. With this is great because I get that surround sound. It feels like I'm immersed in with the music. I've been listening to some jazz music. It feels like I'm in a cafe with the live music going on. It's beautiful. But I still have that situational awareness where I can keep these on and I can still hear if somebody were to approach me and start talking to me, I can still hear what they're trying to tell me. So I love that. I think it's fabulous. In addition to that, like I said, I mentioned I garden a lot. I pull weeds. I'm out there pulling weeds all summer, spring. It gets pretty hot here. And there was always that annoyance with the smaller earpieces because if things started to get hot and I got sweaty, they would always drop out, right? Drop into the soil, drop into the weeds. And I was always, having to search around with gloves on, pick them up, put them back in. So kind of stopping what I was doing. I like these though, and I can see myself definitely using these in lieu of those from now on because they stay put. And again, that sound quality is amazing. In addition to that, these have a great charge. So you can play, you can use these for up to 8 hours. There's a standby of up to 150 hours. And if you needed to fully charge these, it only takes between 2 to 3 hours. It does come with a charging cord, and then it's just like the universal charging cord. So if you were to lose this, you'll be able to charge it with any other one. And then it also comes with a little carrying case. So if I wanted to, I can just pop these inside of here. It's got the little drawstring there, and these actually are really nice because a lot of times when you see these kind of stereo headphones, they do not collapse and fold in on themselves. These do. They're meant to be small and compact like so, and so these can fit in pockets easily. These can fit in purses. These can fit in luggage, travel with you. You can even keep these in your car, right? But they're wonderful. They do just sit right on top of your ears. They're cushioned. So again, we're not hurting the ears or doing any damage to ears, right? And then it just, if you can see here, it just lays right here at the base of your, the top of your neck where the base of your skull. So super comfortable. Again, I can move and it stays on, whatever, regardless of whatever your ear shape is. I did also just want to note that, again, this is great stereo. And when I say stereo, you're not just getting the sound, but you're really getting that immersive, really good quality surround sound. I have here another device that I've gone ahead and paired this with. If I failed to mention, these pair with not only Androids and iPhones, they also pair with iTouch and iTablets, Macs, both computer desktops and laptops and Windows. So they're very versatile. You can use them in all different sorts of settings, home, office, school. And then in addition to that, you can also take phone calls with them and hang up. You can accept and hang up phone calls. You can control your music or your audiobook, whatever it is that you're listening with just the touch of the buttons. So we have here our multifunction button that has the little telephone on that. In order to pause your music, you just push it once. In order to play it, you go ahead and start. You can increase the volume, decrease the volume, and you can move along, skip tracks with the button here, the functional button that allows you to move forward. So it's great. Again, you can also accept phone calls from them, and they sound wonderful. And yeah, absolutely, totally comfortable. They're super easy to pair with your device. Basically, all you need to do is just hold in this button for 7 to 10 seconds. You'll see that it begins to alternate blinking between blue and red. Once it does, you'll see on your phone device, or on not your phone, but your device that you're trying to pair it with. Also, if I didn't mention, note that you will need to make sure that your Bluetooth is on. But once you push this and held it in for 7 to 10 seconds, you'll see a new device pop up, and it's the Kinivo. I believe it's Kinivo, and it says like BTH220. So you'll select that. If you want to rename it, you can rename it. But it's as simple as that to pair it. Let me go back here so that you guys can hear again. One other thing I like about these stereo headphones is that if I want to listen to something, right, I don't need to have that fear that while I'm listening to something that everybody else around me, or if I'm having a conversation, right? I don't need to have that fear that everybody else around me can hear it too. I can have it at full volume and you wouldn't be able to hear. Right now I have my music at full volume and you can't hear it. In fact, if I were to take off the headphones, you'd have to listen very, very, very carefully. Again, it's at full volume. And when I say full volume, I mean, it sounds like I'm in there with a live band. It's very loud, but you'd have to listen very, very carefully in order to hear it. Let me put it a little bit closer to the phone. That might help you hear it a little bit, but either way, these are wonderful headphones. Absolutely love them. Love the comfort of them, the clarity, the quality. It is great. And again, you've got control of everything right here with a couple of simple buttons. They're very lightweight and definitely durable. So check them out. Again, they're the stereo headphones from Kinivo. It's the BTH220 version. You're going to love it.